everybody, welcome back or welcome to Elderflower Stitches. My name is Susie. I am a primary school teacher from East Sussex in England, and in my spare time I like to knit and sew, and I also have a little Etsy shop where I sell some hand-dyed yarns and project bags and progress keepers. That noise is my retired class hamster Hetty, who has decided now is the time for a drink. Don't mind us, Hetty, it's fine. So I haven't made a video since I think the 22nd day of Vlogmas was my last video, so 22nd of December. So it's been a little while. Apologies for the break, it was kind of accidental. I have filmed videos in that time, but then never quite got around to actually editing and putting them together. I even sat down to film a podcast last week, but just everything was against me. Oh, thank you, Hetty. The weather, you know, the light was really bad, and then my phone ran out of battery, so it was just a bit of a write-off. But we're here now, the light is good, my phone's got battery, and I have loads of yarn to show you and talk about. I'm going to dive right in with some nearly finished objects, which I'm really excited about. So I still have some whips. I've got my Susie sweater, the Along Avacana pattern, and I have a Dust of Snow wrap and other things. However, I decided that I wanted to do some smaller things that I could just knit up really quickly and finish them and be like, yay, finished my knitting, because I was getting kind of bored of keeping on knitting these really big things, and they take ages, and I think my knitting stamina is just not at the knitting jumpers stage. So I will persevere. I'm not going to frog it. It's something that I'll just pick up and knit on if I've got like a bit of time to do it. So I decided to do some smaller bits, and I knew that I wanted to use my, do I have a full skein? I knew that I wanted to use this colourway, which is called Buttermints. This is one of the colours from my Truly Scrumptious collection, and it's inspired by like Buttermintos. They're one of our favourite sweets for like long journeys. They are this gorgeous like creamy colour with little splashes and kind of like, on the actual sweets they're almost like stripes of caramel colour. And I really love this. So I decided I wanted to knit something in it, but I didn't want to knit like with sock needles and something in fingering weight, because it would not be any quicker. So I decided to try holding it with a strand of Opulence. Opulence is a 4-ply base that I sell in the shop, which is made from alpaca, silk and cashmere. So it's really soft, and the silk makes it it's got like a really nice sheen to it and quite drapey. So lots of really nice snuggly qualities with that. And then the effect that it had when I held the two together was absolutely beautiful. So it almost went like a marl finish, where you've got flecks of the bare colour and then flecks of the Buttermint. So I didn't dye up a Buttermint skein of Opulence, I just used it bare, and it looks so lovely. Really pleased with how the colour itself has knit up, but especially with the Opulence. So I just went on Ravelry and looked for free patterns that were in DK weight, because 2 lots of 4-ply makes an 8-ply, which is DK. And I found a free one from, I think the pattern company is called Nupu, N-U-P-U, N-U-P-U. I managed to find her on Instagram, and this is the Kaarre hat, K-A-A-R-R-E. And on her pattern, you have this twisted rib cuff, and then this beautiful slip stitch pattern goes all the way to the decreasing. I decided I just wanted a little bit of detail, and then I'd carry on in just stocking stitch. And I did a knit two together decrease. So I did every 10 stitches I knit two together, then every 9, every 8, until it was at the bottom. And I love it, kind of makes a little swirly pattern. So this is nearly finished because I need to weave in the ends, but I love it. It's super cozy. I'm not a big fan of slouchy hats on me, but this is just a really nice, warm and cozy, but not too snug sort of fit. And then I had the perfect pom-pom, which my husband gave me for Christmas last year. I mean the year before. Well, I think, I can't remember. And it's a Toft one. I think they're alpaca. Yeah, 100% alpaca. And I just thought the colour went really nicely with this, so I'm really pleased with that. Then I had loads of yarn left over, so I decided to make some, well, I might have even done it the other way around. I decided to make some tinsel mitts. And tinsel mitts is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, maybe? I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. And it's you have 3 different options. So you can either knit a plain pair of mittens, or you can knit convertible mittens, which have a little hood for your fingers, like this. So you can pull the flap off your fingers the other way, and then you've got your fingers free. And I'm going to put a little button on there to hold it down. I did make a couple of silly mistakes with these. When I was increasing for the thumb gusset, I did my increase every other round, and it's meant to be every 3rd round, so there was less kind of stocking stitch cuff before the thumb, so maybe that sort of made the hand bit shorter, because then this I think is meant to be at the end of the hand rather than on the cuff. Or maybe I just have long hands. But I don't think I do. I don't know. But super cute, this lovely little stitch, slip stitch in the middle. And I'm again so happy with how the colour has knit up. So I feel like I need to wear my mittens and my hat at the same time. So oh, okay, it's quite tricky to put a hat on with mittens on. Hat first next time, everybody. Hat first, then mittens. So yes, yay! Finished, almost finished objects. So lots of weaving in of ends to do. And then I still had yarn left over, which I probably should have made into a snood. However, my brother-in-law's girlfriend saw these and was like, ooh, they're really nice. So I decided to make a second pair, but I think I'm going to give her these ones and keep these ones for myself, because I made them without the flap. So it's just a plain mitten. I thought it would be really nice and warm for like watching the rugby and there won't be any gaps. So where the little hand cover bit is, there could be a little gap and I might get chilly. So I thought I'll just make a plain pair. My little mousy progress keeper. This was from Nicola at Bumble Stitches. We did a little Christmassy swap and she put a little mousy in there. Isn't he cute? Yeah, again, look at how the colours come up. You can see those little caramel speckles and yay. So that's the second one is underway. I'm sorry if you can see like blue splashes on my hands. That is where I was dyeing yarn yesterday. And not necessarily while I was dyeing it, but while I was packing away and I got dye on my hand. So here's the second one. Ta-da! What I love about this pattern is if you make this version, you just make two exactly the same. You don't have to remember what's left or right. You just do a thumb increase and then knit the rest of the hand and knit the thumb. So there's no thinking about whether or not it's left or right, which is good news for me because I seem to forget things when I'm actually knitting it up. So here are the two yarns, and I've still got, these are the two original skeins that I made my first pair of tinsel mitts and the hat from, and this is how much I've still got left over. So wow, I'm really pleased with that. I should definitely be able to finish these mittens, and then I think I'll probably do a matching snood because I just love the colourway, and it's given me, you can probably tell from my enthusiasm, I feel like I've got my knitting mojo back and I'm really excited to be knitting again, and I want to just hold a strand of opulence with absolutely every single sock yarn that I own and make loads of snuggly things. So I'm really excited about that. I need to show you some socks, so I'm just going to go get my sock blockers. One is finished except for weaving in the ends. There's a slight recurring pattern there. So this first pair that's finished were my Christmas Eve cast on, and I knit them using some minis from Nicola at Bumble Stitches. She also made this beautiful bag that was in our swap too. Look at the little mice having a little Christmas party. I'll make a little Christmas tree. Yeah. So she sent me 3 little mini skeins and a little fluffy one as well. One was called Hot Chocolate with the Works, and Eggnog, and We Can Build a Snowman, or Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And I just decided to knit some scrappy socks. And then I realised weaving in ends. So I haven't done that yet. I did just watch a YouTube tutorial about weaving in as you go. So although having to weave all these ends in is probably going to be a bit boring, it won't put me off because I know that next time I can weave them in as I go and it will be okay. I'm going to show you this one because it looks nicer. So I just knit a completely vanilla plain pair of socks. I did a whirlwind toe, which is, unless a sock pattern actually has a toe that I want to try, like the Fordingbridge sock had a different toe pattern, I just always do the whirlwind toe. And then this is just vanilla stocking stitch. Kind of did the Go Day heel and then forgot and ended up with a square heel flap instead of a triangle. So I can't quite remember what I'd done wrong there, but oops. And then just a little twisted rib cuff. Now, I'm really pleased with them. They're totally wearable, but the heel is weird. I got some new needles for Christmas that are ChiaoGoo red lace, and I love them, except the cable is too short. It's 10 inches maybe, which is too long to just knit in the round like magic loop style, but is too short to knit like front back on the loop, if that makes sense. So it was pulling, and now I've got this laddering, and this is even after being blocked, so I'm a bit sad. But they are socks, they'll be on my feet, they're totally wearable, and every time I wear them I will think of the lovely Christmas swap that Nicola and I did, so it's okay. My second pair of socks, which are a work in progress, are my Fordingbridge socks. I started these, gosh, October maybe? I can't remember when Amy brought out the pattern, but quite quickly after Amy brought out the pattern I had a go. Now, they are, it's a slightly different toe. I don't know whether it's called a wedge toe or I can't remember, but slightly different toe to anything I've tried before, and I quite like it, but I think my feet suit a whirlwind because I have quite round feet. So I liked the construction of this. I really enjoyed learning it, but once I've made my second folding bridge sock, I'll probably just go back to Whirlwind. This star stitch is absolutely beautiful and it's really easy. Amy even says in the pattern, at first it will be tricky because of your tension, but once your tension loosens off, it's easy. And she's so right. And it's, yeah, it's so effective, really easy to do. And then this lovely ribbing arch band is really quite, it feels quite supportive on the foot. It really does hold it in place. So I really like that detail. And then you go back to the star stitch, and this heel strap and heel flap is fantastic. I've got quite a high arch here, so I need quite a bit of room across here, and without having to do any adjustments, this just, yeah, this heel really worked. So I really like that, and I think in future I will use this arch band and the heel flap and strap in any shorty socks I do, because it helps to keep it in place and it's really comfortable. It just fits really nicely on my foot, so love that. That's my first one, and this is knit in Dandelion and Dogwood Bluebell Bells, and I need to do the second one still. Breathe. I think that's all my knitting to show you. So I have been, although I haven't been on here for a while, I have been knitting. I showed you my Bide shawl in Vlogmas, didn't I? So I don't need to show you that now. Oh, I'm worn out after that. Okay, let's put all of that aside. Let's talk Christmas swaps. So if you don't know who Zoe Knit Coles is, she is on YouTube as Felicity Yarn Studio. She has obviously a yarn studio, but she's from America. She's from North Carolina, and we just got to know each other through YouTube and Instagram, and we have such similar taste in things, and we decided it'd be fun to do a swap. So we did this like quiz where we had to answer different questions. I'd never done a swap before, but Zoe had, so we did this quiz to find out more about each other, basically ready for our swap, and our answers were pretty much the same for most of it, which was quite amusing. And then we sent each other our swaps. I am absolutely blown away by how much Zoe put in. There's just so much yarn, and there were loads of lovely other bits as well, so I can't show you them now because they're long gone, but there was some delicious homemade treats that were like a little waffle style pretzel with chocolate and caramel and a pecan nut on top. They were gorgeous and probably lasted about 3 days, and I probably didn't get very many of them because my husband enjoyed them too. And then this huge tub of butter toffee peanuts. Wow. So they also didn't last very long. So she put some yummy treats in, and there were other little bits as well that I haven't got here because I've already, like, there's a lovely ceramic heart which I've already put up, so I'll try and get photos of things that aren't here, but I will show you what I've got. So some beautiful yarn. We have a little mini from the Fibre Seed, which is 90-10 Seaposh Merino and nylon. It's 16.5 grams, and it's called Cinnamon, which is really pretty and would look really nice, oh yes, as heels and toes with some buttermint, so that's lovely. And then I hadn't heard of these before, Koigu Wool Designs, and this is a 50 gram and it's 100% merino. Now I feel like this would make some really cute mittens with a strand of opulence. So it's like I would say like a raspberry pink, but then with like dusty, kind of almost grubby purple in there, and like almost black speckles there, so lots of interest. Very pretty. Then Tippy Tree Yarns. Oh, I forgot to show you, there's a little progress keeper on there as well. Ta-da! Is that coming up? Tippy Tree Yarns, which is hand dyed in Colorado, and this is Mountain Sunset. So we both told each other a yarn dye that we liked from each other's countries that we'd like some yarn from. So I sent her some Nora George and some Dandelion Dogwood, and she sent me some Tippy Tree yarns because I'd seen them on Etsy. You know, when you get all the kind of similar to things that you've liked, it's always this company, so I was really excited to get some. It's got pinks and peaches, blues, purples, just really pretty colours, really pretty. I think that's going to be a nice pair of socks. Wow. Then some beautiful yarn from Zoe's very own yarn studio. Let's all just take a moment to admire her gorgeous, gorgeous logo. This is sock yarn, it's 75/25, and it's a really nice high twist, and it is called Bubblegum Grunge. What a beauty. And then matching mohair. So, wow, I think this is probably going to be a snood or a hat. I'm in love with that, it's absolutely gorgeous. And this is so pretty. She also makes progress keepers, and this is one that she sent me that is absolutely beautiful. So it's like rose quartz, and it's in this little sort of, I don't know what you would call it, like a cage, doesn't sound like the right word, but in a little holder on a gold hook. So that is, I think, too beautiful to use as a progress keeper, and I might just put it on a on a chain, and it will be it will have to be a necklace because it's so gorgeous. Then we both like pins and we both sent each other some cat pins, so we both have cats, and I love that this says Cat Mom because I'm a cat mum, but also the fact that it says mom instead of mum will always make me think of Zoe because it's American, and it will always remind me of a swap. So if somebody sees it like, why does it say that? I'll be like, well, I have this friend in America. So that's really lovely, really nice. And then this adorable cat, a brooch pin or clip. So you put it, you can unclip it and put it through your shawl, and then clip it, and it will hold your shawl in place, and it's rose gold, so beautiful. Finally, well, not finally, because there's other bits as well that I've eaten and used. We said that we would send each other something from our area, so she sent me something from her state, and I sent her some postcards from my town and some like silly touristy bits, like I think a little red phone box keyring or something. So she sent me the state pin, or you know, a pin in the shape of the state of North Carolina with this gorgeous flower on. So that's definitely going to go on a project bag. Really pretty. I hope I'm holding it the right way up. Geography is not my strength. So that was my amazing swap with Zoe. Zoe, thank you so much. It was an absolute joy to choose things for you, and sending it all off was so much fun, and I hope that you loved it. If you want to see Zoe's video of her opening or talking about the bits from me from our swap, then I will try to find which video it is and pop it in the description box below. Yay! Right, let's move. I'm literally surrounded by yarn, which is not a bad predicament to be in. Then I had I've had a couple of orders from this lovely lady called Marie who lives in Australia, and she came over during the Christmas break to visit her family who live over here, and we were trying desperately to arrange a kind of meet-up so that I could give her some bits that she'd ordered and we could meet. And we just didn't quite get round to it because I think she had a really busy time seeing all of her lovely friends and family. But once I'd sent her order to her where she was staying, she said, "I've put something in the post for you as well." She kind of asked for my address to send something to me, and I was totally amazed at what she sent me. So this is a beautiful little kind of face cloth that she's crocheted in a lovely kind of cotton yarn, which I think I probably won't ever use because it's so pretty. I might just frame it, 'cause those are all my favourite pastel colours. So that's really sweet, thank you. And then this beautiful yarn, which Marie dyed herself. So I love that it's like white background rather than a sort of neutral creamy colour. It's like almost white with pinks and purple speckles. It kind of reminds me of Beatrix by by Biff Sugar Yarns, but without the brown, so it's got like blues instead. That's so pretty. So Marie, I'm really impressed and humbled. Thank you. And then this beautiful pink mini, which I can't remember the name now, but she said was from an Australian dyer. So gorgeous. And the two of them together are beautiful. So thank you very much, Marie, for my lovely bits. That was really kind and very unexpected, but thank you. I'm not done yet. More acquisitions. Okay. Right, more yarn. This was my Christmas present. So my husband and I decided to keep Christmas relatively small for each other this year. We are saving up for our first home, which is a tricky thing to do in the modern world. It's really hard, but we are persevering. So we decided to just have a bit of a smaller Christmas this year, and we just got each other one kind of main present and then a couple of little stocking bits. And as soon as I saw these on Instagram, I was like, I know what I want for Christmas. I love Pixie yarn, and I think she might be the first hand-dyed yarn indie dye that I bought from on Etsy. And I bought this beautiful sock set called Snow Day, which is like periwinkle blue toes, heels and cuffs, and then a white with blue speckles main yarn. And I made a pair of Mercury socks, which you might be able to find a picture of if you scroll back far enough on my Instagram. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Pixie yarn, and when she showed her Christmas colourways, I was like, yes. I'm not a big fan of red and green Christmas stuff, mainly because I don't really wear red. I don't mind green so much, but I don't really wear red, so I think that there would be no point in me getting a red and green self-striping Christmassy sock yarn. So when I saw these, I knew that these were what I wanted for Christmas. So this is the Pixie Yarn Christmas set, and I got 4 yarns, and they're 50 grams each, so just right for making a pair of mittens or a pair of socks with each. So this one is called Nutcracker, and it's 75.25, which is my favourite piece because it's this lovely high twist. Oh my god, look at the pink, so pretty. And then we have Auld Lang Syne, which I'm sure you know that song. It's the one that everyone sings at New Year's Eve. And then Jingle Bells and Sugar Plum Fairy. Look at that. So these are really nice. I don't know that I will make things that I'll keep for myself. I look at these and I think, my mum loves blue, my niece loves purple, I like beige, and I'm sure I know someone that likes yellow, but I think these would make really nice gift knits. I could knit up a pair of mittens or a hat or a snood or something, just something small with probably a strand of opulence, because I do that with everything now. And yeah, they'll be really lovely. So I'm really pleased with all 4 of those. I can't remember Pixie Yarn's name now actually, but thank you very much. They are yummy. Finally, no, not finally. Then in my stocking, I had a few lovely bits from So Sweet Violet. Crinkly paper, sorry. So we have a little bumblebee pin, just super sweet, and then 2 little progress keepers. We've got the Jar of Love and the parrot. Very sweet. And then this adorable bear, though I don't think I'll be able to actually put him on any projects because he is quite a noisy bear, but he's very, very cute and a little bit sad, but I love him. So I got him as well. I'll probably hang him up somewhere that I can just adore him. So those lovely bits were in my stocking. And then I treated myself to a few other bits. When I bought the yarn for Zoe's swap from Dandelion and Dogwood, which was I think it was the Frenemies colourway, I treated myself to a couple of little bits from the shop as well. I knew I didn't need any more yarn because I had some coming for Christmas, but I did get some lovely sock blockers, which have got dogwood flowers on them, and a Dandelion and Dogwood pin. Isn't that sweet? I love collecting people's pins. So I've got Rachel from So Ray Me recently released her pin, so I got hers, and I just really like having everybody's pins. Especially if I have one of their project bags or something with their yarn, so I can keep them together. It's nice. I don't know, do you do that? I like doing that. It's nice. Okay, and then 2 little treats that I just saw and was like, yeah, I'm gonna have those. This is from the Shepherd's Hut, so I hadn't bought anything from them before, but I spotted that it was my favourite kind of base, which is a 75/25 and a really nice high twist. And it's called Sock Set Number 1. And it is like peachy with lots of bright pinks, and then this yellow mini to go with it. So it's 120 grams altogether, but it was only £17, which I think is really reasonable. But yeah, very, very nice colours, nice bright pinks in there. So that'll be a nice summery, I don't know, maybe summery to go in a shawl or something. And this is just me. This colour is so beautiful. It's from Beaches and Birdsong, and it's called Snapdragon. Again, it's a 75/25. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's all my favourite colours. Do you remember those sweets called fruit salads that were like peach and strawberry or peach and raspberry, and they were this colour? That's basically my colour scheme. Peaches, pinks and blushes, beiges, creams. Oh, so yummy. Okay, now I've finished showing you all my things. So this is accumulated over 2 months, including Christmas. So I haven't actually bought anything since I bought those 2 with my Christmas money, actually. So I haven't been as naughty as it looks. Okay, exciting news. So I've decided that my kind of couple of months of seeing how things go has gone very well, and I really want to commit to growing Elderflower Stitches and making it something that I can do alongside teaching sustainably. So I feel like I've gone like really full on. I've had bags and progress keepers and yarn and boxes and loads of stuff going on, and it's been amazing. And now I want to find my way and what I'm going to do longer term. So to keep things manageable alongside teaching, I've decided that during term time I will only do yarn and occasionally progress keeper sets if the mood takes me, basically. So each weekend I will have a yarn dyeing session, and then the following Friday I will have a shop update, and it will be ready to ship yarn, and it will be colourways that I'm just coming up with that weekend, that maybe I've seen some flowers or some birds, or I've been on a walk and something's really inspired me. So there'll be really creative and unique colourways that will come up each week. I will podcast that weekend or vlog that weekend to show the colourways, and then on Friday they'll be up in the shop ready to go, and I'll ship them all on a Monday. That does mean that during term time I won't be doing custom orders or dyed to order, and I also won't be doing bags, because then on the evenings I can come home, have a cup of tea, chat to you in a vlog or on an Instagram story, do a bit of knitting and relax, rather than quick, I've got to make 3 bags tonight kind of thing. So I absolutely love doing all the things that I do in the shop. Nothing is kind of a chore, or I don't resent any of it, but I'm very aware that I also need to rest, and being a teacher full-time is a huge role, and I need to have the energy and the brain space to do that to the best of my ability. So I don't want to be getting tired and stressed about shop things when I then have a full day's work ahead or behind me. So I'm going to show you what's going to be in the shop this week. There's a few bits in there at the moment, and there'll be a cut-off point on a Sunday where I'm like, right, I've got to take everything out the shop, because I won't be like packing and shipping orders during the week. I'll only pack and ship them on a Sunday. So the things that are in there will only be available until the end of Sunday, which is today. And then I will take the listings down and prepare for the next week's shop update. That kind of means that Monday to Friday I have a bit of a break from having to do shop stuff, and I'm more able to just chat to people on Instagram, be a part of the knitting community, respond to people's comments on YouTube, and be a bit more present rather than just rushing around. So this week's shop update then. This was a bit of an accident. I dyed up a set of Buttermint minis and put them next to some strawberry bonbons, and the pink rubbed off. So there's some pink in there, and then there's actual like pink bits too. So this is Buttermint with some strawberry bonbons. So I am calling it Buttermint Whoopsies because it's kind of Buttermint gone a little bit awry. It's more of a like combination of Buttermint shades. But when you get, you know, it does go from light to dark. So there is a fade going on there, just not quite in the, I normally like a very easy to spot fade. So this is Buttermint Whoopsies, which is Buttermint with some pink splashes that I think are absolutely gorgeous. There's only 3 sets of this. So yeah. And it was kind of an accident, so I don't know how I would dye it up again. So that's Buttermint Whoopsies. I've got 3 sets of mini skeins of that. Now, I've been asked for a little while about blues and greens, and would I be doing some blues and greens. And so I have a few full skeins, and then I also have I also have some mini fade sets. So this is the green. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I can't believe I didn't do green before. Isn't it lovely? So it's just on Super Sock full skein or Super Sock minis, not on any other bases at the moment. And I'm kind of toying with a few different names here because it's a lovely fresh spring green. I'm thinking first leaves or first shoots. That was my inspiration. I wanted a nice light grassy green that was really fresh and springy and would go really nicely with like delicate pinks. So pretty. So that one will be in the shop. There's a few full skeins and then there's a few mini sets. Let's have a look at the minis. So the minis fade from this really pale, barely there, all the way up to this one here. So, and then everything in between. It's really hard to show all 5 shades of the fade, but what I like to do is twist it around and then you can see how it fades from light to, yeah. Oh, so obviously this still needs to be it still needs to be dried a little bit in the dryer, and then once it's all nice and fluffy I will twist them up and put them in their little yarn bands ready to go on Friday. So here we go. This is, what did we say we were going to call it? First shoots or first leaves of spring, first signs of spring, something along those lines. So look out for that one if you're fancying a nice light green. And then this one, Mum, if you're watching, she will love. This is the top colour in the fade. This is Mum's favourite blue. She loves a nice bright turquoisey blue. So this one is called something along the lines of Spring Sky or something like that. I was inspired by the fact that we actually had a couple of days where it didn't rain. Well, not whole days, a couple of hours where it didn't rain, and I was like, oh, I need to make a nice sky blue. So we have the full skein, which is like this. Ta-da! Oh, look at it, so pretty. Shall I hold it next to the green so you can see that they are different, because they do look quite similar. It's a bit like pepperminty. It's like an icy blue. So that's a full skein. Okay, so here is the it's not raining or something along the lines of like spring sky, or yeah. So that's going to be the fade set. So pretty. Yay. So I can't wait to get those in the dryer and fluffed up, and then I can tidy them up and twist them into lovely little twists and get them all prepared and ready to come home with you. We have a little mini skein Lucky Dip, which there's a few different colours in here. We have, I think, all of the different Truly Scrumptious colours are in here. We've got Parma Violets, Strawberry Bonbon, Lemon Sherbet, oh, I can see a Rhubarb and Custard. Oh look, Rhubarb and Custard, ah, so pretty. And is there a Buttermint mini? Maybe, or maybe I've already put that in a bag for somebody. I think I might have already put that in a bag for someone. So we have a mini skein Lucky Dip, and you can order as many of those as you want. And if you order like 3 or 4 at a time, make sure that they're all different colours. then, I'll show you what else we've got in the shop. So if any of this doesn't go this weekend, it will come back in the shop next weekend. We have Gypsophila, which is mostly cream with some lovely spring greens and buttery yellows, and then some like speckly pink bits. And we have lemon sherbet and rhubarb and custard. It makes me want to eat rhubarb and custard. Buttermint. Oh, yummy. And strawberry bonbon with fluff. So the strawberry bonbon is like pink with, oh, look at that, bright pink splashes. Let me show you Parma Violet. Did I show you Parma Violet? Parma Violet, which is just like the palest, softest lavender purple. And Pirouettes, my classic pale pink that was from the Back to Ballet collection. And probably one of the most popular colours, Point Shoes, which is like the softest blush peach. Yummy. So if you're quick, or if I'm quick at getting this video up, these might still be in the shop now, but if they don't go, these will come back up in the shop next Friday. It just means that I don't have to pack and post orders during the week, because I don't always get out of work in time to get to the post office, and that's my main concern, is not getting it to you when it's supposed to be dispatched. So I don't want to let anybody down. There you go. I will also put in the shop some skeins of Opulence, so that if you want to have a go at holding a strand of fingering with a strand of Opulence, that there's some of that in the shop for you to have a go with. I'd love to know what you think, because I am obsessed. So that's this week's shop update. Buttermint Whipsies, first signs of spring, or first shoots of spring, and then Spring Sky or something along those lines. So you've got some blues and greens, and then the Buttermint Whipsies. So I've got some really exciting things coming up. Some of them I can talk about, some of them might be more kind of surprises, but I've been asked by a few people to do different kind of collaborations and other exciting things. And I also have my very first pop-up shop. So lovely Nikki from Clara Peggotty, who arranges all of the Socks on the Beach meetups, asked me if I'd like to do a pop-up shop at the next one. So that is the 28th of March at the Hydro in Eastbourne, and I will be there with some yarn for you to squish, and maybe a few kind of Progress Keeper sets and things to have a look at. And yeah, you can take some Elderflower Stitches yarn home with you and have your own little pastel rainbow of lovely yarn. So I'm really excited. There's lots of really fun things coming up, and I think that's why it's even more important for me to make sure that my week is a bit more calm, and I don't know, more like I have a structured, this is what I do on this day, this day, this day, and then Monday to Friday I'm like a bit more free to just knit the things that I want to knit and sew and watch people's vlogs, and maybe do a bit of vlogging myself in quite a casual, I'm just doing some knitting and thought I'd chat to you about it kind of way. So yeah, I have I have some Parma Violet mini fade sets here for some of my last dye to order listings, and I've just been touching it the whole time we've been filming. I thought I'd just show you. So this one is one of my favourites. Look at the fade on that. Oh, so pretty. There's one in here for me. I made sure I did an extra one this time. So there's one for me, and I'm going to make a snuggle down cowl, I think. but probably with opulence instead of mohair or Suri alpaca. Yeah, so lovely. So yes, shop updates will be on Fridays in the evening UK time, roughly about 7 or 8 o'clock. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a little post where I kind of mentioned that I'd started this shop journey to help my husband and I get on the property ladder. So that's kind of in full swing now. We're really like on our way, and we've got a bit of a time scale and we're getting organised for that. So it's feeling very real, very grown up. We're not at the stage where we're putting in offers, but we're kind of at the stage where we're going to go and start visiting and looking around and getting a feel for different properties. So things are happening, moving forward. So if you pray, please pray for us that that we will find ourselves a home, because we have we've lived with my parents, we've lived with his parents, we rented a sweet little studio flat in town, and then we rented a slightly bigger flat, both of which we loved, and we loved living together. But we're now back with his parents, and I'm so grateful that I get to have a space like this, even though it's not our house. But yeah, we're really wanting to find our way home now, and find somewhere that we can put down roots and really feel that we are staying there. So yeah, if you pray, then please pray for us. And if you don't, then just send your good vibes our way, because it's going to be an emotional journey. I know that buying a house is not the easiest process, financially, emotionally, physically, from friends I know that have recently been through that. So I know we're in for a journey, but I'm really excited about it, and I think it's like really underway now. And yeah, all of the wonderful orders from Elderflower Stitches are a huge part of that, and myself and my husband are really grateful for all of them. So it's pretty wonderful. But yeah, it's been lovely chatting, and I've really enjoyed sharing all of my knitting and lots of lovely acquisitions and shop news with you. And I've got a little bit of footage from a nice walk that we had down by Burling Gap. So no, not Burling Gap, Cookmere. So yeah, we saw the beautiful cottages. There were some lambs, cows, which were really sweet, and we went down to the beach and had a little look in the rock pools, and yeah, just got blown about by the wind. And then when we were on our way back up the hill towards the car park, it just suddenly started chucking it down. Luckily not for long. It just was kind of a bit of a downpour, and then it stopped. But yeah, we got drenched in the like 2 minutes that it chucked it down. It was like an hour of drizzling rain in one go kind of thing. So yeah, we were then home for a nice warm coffee and cuddles with the cat. So yeah, pop that footage in here, and then I will see you next weekend. So because I'll be doing some yarn dyeing each weekend, I will put together either a vlog or a podcast each weekend to show what colours are going into the shop, and yeah, and just kind of chat to you. I actually think I will show you a couple of things that are in the shop this week, because if they don't go this week, they'll go back into the shop on Friday. So if they're still there, you might want to have a little look. So those have gone. Right, wow, that's going to be a huge video. Very, very long. I will catch up with you next weekend for some new colourways and some more knitting and rambling on. So I will see you then. Bye. beautiful. What was that?
So I wonder if they think it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Like, the farmers, so hopefully they didn't.